hear about drugs on TV and in the movies, on the radio, in books and magazines, on the internet, and in daily conversation with friends and peers. Depending on where you live or who you're talking to, you might hear the same drug called a few different things. Some of the information is accurate, but a lot of it is not. Here are a few realities to consider.
You can't predict the effect that a drug can have on you, especially if it's the first time you try it, and even if it's a small amount or dose. Everyone's brain and body chemistry are different, and everyone's tolerance for drugs are different as well. Using drugs can lead to abuse, addiction, serious health problems, and even death. Drugs that are legal, prescription and over-the-counter medications, can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. According to the 2010 National Survey on Drug Use and Health, the vast majority of young people do not use illegal drugs. The rate of illegal drug use was 1% of young people surveyed. Illegal drugs use rate among teens have decreased since 2002. More teens are now saying no to drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, non-medical use of prescription drugs, and methamphetamine.
When faced with the consequences of using drugs, you might think, this is just a scare tactic. It can't happen to me. Or you might think, it could happen to others, but it won't happen to me. But if you think that using drugs can't affect your health, your family and social relationships, school performance, or your future, think again. Using drugs, and sometimes just being around people who use them, can have legal, health, social, and financial consequences. Think about it. What can happen when you get in a car with a driver who's high? What can happen when you get pulled over with drugs or paraphernalia in your car? And what can happen if you make a decision to use drugs? The first time, it's a choice. After that, it may not be. And sometimes it's hard to know the total consequences of your choice until it's too late. If you're using drugs, selling drugs, or spending a lot of time around people who do, you may have to face legal consequences.
A drug-related conviction can have a major impact on your future. With a drug-related offense on your record, the following may be true. You may not be able to get the job you want. You may be unable to join the military. You may fail to keep your college loans. You may face one of the biggest consequences of all, being sentenced to time in prison. The United States has clear, explicit drug abuse laws at the federal, state, and local levels. Sometimes just being around drugs can justify an arrest and conviction, even if you're not using drugs and the drugs aren't yours. And depending on the laws in your area, even drug paraphernalia may be cause for arrest. It's up to you to learn about the legal consequences and consider the facts when you make decisions about drugs.